I'm not making any money. This is for educational purposes only. Fair use. Fair use. Kahalayim, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, to the elder apostles, bishops in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, the elect, shalom, to the Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold, shalom, to sisters, you are who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Yeah, this your brother Ram Yahweh with the lesson.
Trump had specifically asked about me because I remind him of his daughter, and she said, well, she's 13 as well. So he knew the first time that he saw me. But he comes over mad because I was crying, and he said that I should be thankful that someone like Donald Trump took my virginity. Where he basically didn't say took my virginity. He said, I should be glad that someone like Donald Trump popped my cherry and not some pimply little 14-year-old. And I just was like, what if I said, what if I get pregnant? Not even talking to him. I didn't want to talk to him. I was talking to Tiffany. And he said, well, you'll get an abortion then, bitch, and then just walked away.
Why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but
Donald Trump had specifically asked about me because I remind him of his daughter. And she said, well, she's 13 as well. So
yeah, so this is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 15. Woe, which means judgment, unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, right? So you give him what the philosophies, the wine, of of so-called being an elite, these Greek fraternity ways, and how to pledge allegiance to a certain, basically a group, right? Fraternity, so to speak, right? And this is how you determine who's to be successful in society. You be from certain groups, the Skull and Bone, or I don't know what Black Boule group, whatever you will be from, and all the way to being Freemasons, teaching Jake how to do these different things. And that's how you get into the entertainment world, which, these are the things that they did to, because Bill Cosby was really close friends with Hugh Hefner, which they've never arrested this guy. They never did anything. They never harassed Hugh Hefner for any of these things. And there were underage girls. There were all sorts of things that were happening. And this whole thing, they want to call him Bill Cosby now, right? But that was things that all them people were doing. Like these elite, they taught them. They put the drink to the neighbor, right? Teaching Jake these things, right? Because what it says, matter of fact, it tells you that in Proverbs. Let me get that real quick. Yeah. So this is Proverbs chapter 12, verse 26. The righteous, right, which are you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you're the Israelites. You know, you have a moral compass, you know, and you have a connection to God, right? But you let these people that have no connection to God, you know, yeah, it says, but the ways of the wicked seduce them. See, and this man that has no connection to God, you will let him seduce you. Meanwhile, it could be blatant in front of their face, and none of them are tearing down their people. But you people, you tore down R. Kelly, you tore down P. Diddy, you tore down Bill Cosby, right? This dude is still sitting as president. Not even in the court of what they say? If you don't go to jail in a court of opinions, you're judged. But hey, no one go ask anybody about their opinion about Trump. You might get a couple people, which of course they'll be Democrat. They might say something bad, but you ask the average everyday Republican, even some of these other people. I think Trump is great, right? You know, hey man. But you let them bring you to these to this, you know, this type of you know, giving your children to Molech, and you know, see now you're getting caught up in these things. You know, they bringing out Jay-Z and Pusha T's name in these Epstein files. See, you are more righteous than your neighbor, but the ways of the wicked, what seduceth them, right? You have to get down with some debauchery, some all sorts of things to become wealthy in this place, man. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? So they put the drink to his neighbor, and he says, whoa, which, because he's going to get judged. Judgment is coming for these people. See, but they didn't tell you that part, right? That his lot is the lot of the wicked, right? His lot is the lot of Esau, right? You go into the this is the Webster's, the Compact Bible, the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, Salakia, and it will tell you that Esau is the only family that does not that will not obtain mercy. But you didn't understand that. You didn't know that. They didn't tell you that part, right? You know, why you being misled? Why, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor the drink, right? And that's what they're giving you: different wine philosophies, ways of debauchery, right? But these are the things you have to do to become wealthy, right? And putteth the bottle to him, and maketh him drunken, also that thou mayest look upon their nakedness, right? And exposing you. But see, now we're coming to the time that they're being exposed. So they hey, well, let's expose Jay-Z. Let's expose P. Diddy. Let's expose, you know, R. Kelly. Let's do all these different dudes. And so the so-called black community tear down their heroes, right? And now these people are considered nothing worth, right? They're nobody. They're not our heroes no more. But here, this guy, this thing is right in front of your face. He's still president. Nobody's gonna remove him out of office. You can't impeach him, right? And even if anything did happen, he gonna go in there and pardon himself. Right? It says, thou art filled with, so like, yeah, with shame, right? And this place is filled with shame for glory, right? It says, drink thou thus also, right? So now it's time, as they ran these jakes through the mud. Hey, now it's happening to you, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. And that, hey, that's, man, that's crazy for it to say that, right? Because this is speaking of some grape, right? And you're graping, you're pulling out, and you're letting your foreskin be uncovered, right? But the whole point is what? The cup of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai's right hand, shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing, right, upon thy glory. See, and this video, that little clip, is a shameful spewing upon their glory. Yeah, they ain't going to jail now. It ain't gonna happen. But the point of the evidence is out there, and it's gonna show that, yeah, their end is at hand.
He said, what? SpongeBob was created to entertain all of the kids that, wait for it, Jeffrey took to his island. No! SpongeBob's license plate, if you look at the address, here it comes. You put that address in Google Maps, it will take you to Little St. James. Think about it. Who lives in under the sea? Are you ready, kids? Are you ready, kids? Aye, aye, Captain! And they show one island on the water. The Nickelodeon symbol is literally the island as well. Holy smoke. Holy.
So they took about the pineapple, right? So this is AI overview. It says, in sexual slang, an upside down pineapple, often used as an emoji, represents an interest in swinging or lifestyle, open relationship, partnership, swapping, right? Particularly on cruises or in vacation spots. So it's an island. An island is definitely a vacation spot, right? So they could be, with the little, additionally, it's popular as in safe word. Yeah, but I thought that was interesting too. That a long time ago, was it Kevin Hart was trying to say that his safe word is pineapple, but was it really? Because it's only additionally new safe word, and it could be because the fame of Kevin Hart saying that was his safe word, but where was he getting that from? What was funny about that? What was the ugly truth, right? Because truth is ingesting, and a lot of times they throw the things out right in front of you, in code, and cryptic, so, and that's what this whole SpongeBob thing was, cryptic, right in front of your face, but cryptic. Yeah, so this is Obadiah chapter 1 verse 15. For the day of Yahweh is near, right? Yeah, definitely. And we can see it. Your shameful spewing is out there. So definitely, World War III is, on the table. The micro C hip is on the table. Civil war, race wars, food wars. They got this new so-called new virus. Can't think of the name of it, but it's creeping around the corner. Right. God dang, I wish I could remember the name of that little virus, because it's basically doing the same thing that they said. It's at the airport, so we're gonna check people, and we're gonna quarantine them. Hey, it's all on the table, right? Yahweh is proof. The micro C hip. Let's not forget that. I think I already said it, but let's say it again. The micro C hip, the MOTB, is on the table. I said World War III, race war, calamity. Yeah, all these things. They're all on the table. The wild beast, everything. The war, and Yahweh Shai's waiting, man. He's not going to meet thee as a man, right? For the day of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, is near and upon all the heathen. See, so it ain't just going to be Esau that get it, man. You got those, Confederate. All you nations were Confederate. Psalms 83 were against, where you're against the Most High Yahweh, and ultimately against His people, and really the Lord, is upset that you touch. The Lord said, do His prophets no harm, right? Touch not my anointed, right? And do my prophets no harm, but you're gonna behead them. Which that's about to be on the table. Guillotines, matter of fact, let's mention that while we at it. The guillotines is on the table. The public executions and things are gonna be all on the table. Palantir. Oh wait, Palantir and surveillance, and man, hey, it's all on the table, right? And that proves that Yahweh Basham Yahushua is near and upon all the heathen, right? Moab, Ammon, right? Because you helped them, right? Because it talks about Asia, but it ain't Asia. Because when you mention Asia, we think of Moab, but that whole landmass is Asia. Russia is technically in Asia, right? And they help forward the affliction, right? You got Japan, right? Not just China, right? You got Japan, which is Ammon. That's basically, even though it's an island, you might as well consider that's basically part of Asia, because no one's saying it's its own continent, right? So what continent would it be a part of? Most likely Asia, right? So when it's saying, I think this is the second Ezra 16. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I think I got time. Quick. So this is second Ezra chapter 16, verse 1. Woe, which means what? Judgment. Weeping and gnashing of teeth, right? Because it's going to be ultimate, all sorts of, the sword is going to be let out, man. The ultimate sword being the ICBM missile. But, hey, like I said, the race wars, the calamities, the fights, the infighting, the all sorts of different things. Of course, the elite, of Moab, the elite of Ammon, the elite of Russia, and any of these other nations, Ham, the so-called Africans, and all. You're going to be in your bunkers and all these other things, just so you could bring forth, and you could be the first fruits of slavery, and you could bring forth all your generations after you, right? Because there's no end of the people, right? Proving there's no end of the people, right? But it is going to be a judgment of you heathen, which means woe, which judgment be unto what? Babylon, she's talking about America, right? The daughter of Babylon. And Asia, right? Like I said, Russia, China, Japan, right? Might even say Korea, right? Because if you think about it, Korea, right? North Korea, South Korea, you know, goddamn Elam, yeah, y'all been against us, right? You know, you lick the wounds of you know, of Lazarus, you know. Well, we're a friend of the Lord. You lick the, bro. Hey, you mean you kept us downtrodden, right? It says, woe be unto thee, Egypt, Syria, right? Going into you know, well, America's spiritually Egypt too, but it is more going into you Ishmaelites, you know, because you know, like Russia's Edomites. Then you got the you know, Moab, Ammon, which they're pretty much they're brothers, right? And then you got North Korea, South Korea, which they are all related. You know what I mean? Then then you got I think Syria, right? Syria, all these different places. You know, I believe, yeah, because a lot of them are like Arab and goes into even like I said, Elam. You know, these different things like that. These people, because you heathens are gonna get it. Be unto Egypt and Syria, right? Right? Because you Persians, you're gonna get it. It says, girt yourselves with sackcloth. I mean, with cloth of sack, right? Girt up yourself with cloths of sack, which is a sackcloth, which is for mourning, and hair, right? Bewail your children. Hey, see, things is gonna start happening, man. Judgment, right? A lot of you're gonna, the elite's gonna go into their bunkers, but the people are gonna be left. Bewail your children. So a lot of tragedies, right? Things are gonna happen throughout the entire earth. Be sorry, right? You're gonna be grieving. You're gonna be, hey, that's when you're gonna be asking for. You're gonna be in penitence. Oh Lord, oh sorry, oh my God, sorry. Oh. Yeah, but you're only gonna feel sorry because of the affliction that's gonna come upon you, not because you're saying, hey, look, we know that these are your people. We're sorry that we did that. You know what? What can we do? What can we do to help? You ain't looking to help, right? But you're gonna still feel sorry once the Lord lay down that law, lay down that wrath, right? And be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, right? Them ICBM missiles, and who may turn it back, right? Right, to prove it is the ICBM missiles, right? Is it 13 right here? Yeah. Prove it's the ICBM missiles. It says, for strong is the right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrow that he shooteth, right, which is the Most High Yahweh through his only begotten Son Yahweh Shai, are sharp and shall not miss, right? Because of all this technology, you're so hyperbolic and excited about your technology, and you're boasting within what you have and what you can do. Well, guess what? You're right. Shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. So once World War III happens, hey, you're gonna get your judgment, right? Yeah, so that's why the Lord says, well, it's gonna be upon all you heathen. And these missiles are gonna be shot from one end of the earth unto the other. So, hey, your children, you're gonna get it, man. You know what I mean? You're not gonna escape judgment, you know? Well, at least your children are, and you're not going to either, technically. You're gonna be the first fruits of slavery. You know what I mean? We're gonna have you nice and rested. I hope you getting pedicures and manicures and get your rest while you're in there. Because when you come out, hey, nothing but rigorous working, but unless it's the Sabbath or a high holy day. That's the only rest you're gonna get, right? And it says, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Woo. Hey, you touched the Lord's elect. You touched the Lord's anointed. Hey, thy reward shall return upon thy own head. Down on the head. Hey, that's for all you nations, starting with Esau, bro. For as ye have drunk up the holy mountain, so shall all the heathen, that ain't just Esau, all the heathen drink continually. The Lord about to put a hurting on you. You ever drink so much you be hurting, you be like, oh man. You might have had fun, but you like, damn, I feel like I wish I didn't drink. I freaking hurt. That's what the Lord's about to put a hurting on you. All you heathens, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. Hey, right, you're gonna be, because it said that we wasn't gonna be reckoned amongst the nations. This time you're gonna be the ones who's not reckoned, right? You're not gonna be able to build monuments and buildings and have your so-called technology and boast in your ability to do whatever you think you could do. No more of that, right? Yeah, so this is Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 12. For thus saith Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha HaKodash. Behold, which means feast your eyes, look, pay attention. They whose judgment, right, which that means woe, judgment, right? We had our woe, right? We had our judgment, was not to drink of the cup. See, it really wasn't meant for us to drink of the cup. It was meant for Adam and Eve to obey the governments, the government of the rules, the law that the Lord gave in the Garden of Eden. And then of course we came out of later on, sometime later, because we fell, the Lord raised up Abraham, told him that his descendants are going to go into a 400-year slavery, but they're going to come out with great substance. So that 400 years is already done, right? And the Israelites came out with great substance, and they were supposed to, not be murmuring in the desert. They were supposed to, have faith, trust in the Lord. They could have went right over into the thing. I mean, the Lord was making it was a process. It wasn't that far of a trip, technically. They could have made it there in 2 days, 3 days, whatever, if it just would have walked straight through. But there's always a purging when it comes to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It's not just going to give you, there's a purging element to what the Lord does. There's always a purging element. Because you got to think of what happened to Joseph. When Joseph got put down in the pit, he got rose up, he got sold into slavery, and you got to think this is an ongoing thing that happens to the Israelites. We get put down, we get sold into slavery, we get put in these different situations, rise to prominence, do a certain thing, and then the people want to kill us. You know what I'm saying? And so as you go on, Pharaoh wanted to kill him because they wanted to serve the Lord, and that's where we're at now. I'm just cutting through I'm not giving the whole, but just saying, and that's what we're going through now. You want to kill us because we're trying to serve the Lord, and so the Lord has to raise up the standard, and it wasn't meant for us to drink of this cup, but because if we would have went into the promised land the way it was meant to be, if we purged off ourselves, went into the land, didn't murmur, we believed, didn't have any didn't have any doubts or unbelief, we would have walked into the land, and the Lord would have just allowed us to rule forever, right? But that didn't happen. All this thing happened for this thing to happen the way it's about to happen today. So that way, hey man, the whole world, you thought you were Yaiquabbing us, but you can't Yaiquab, man. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is not gonna, it's the ultimate thing, because we're in the ghettos, the barrios, the reservations. It seems we're gonna these people are gonna be perpetual slaves forever. No, we're the sons of the power. We're the sons of the power of the Most High. So it should be told unto you, you are not the sons of the living power, but there it should be told, no, you are the sons of the living power, and that's what's happening. And there ain't nothing you could do about it, because it says, because it wasn't. This is what it says. Those whose judgment was not to drink of the cup, but hey, we broke the laws. So the Lord, hey, He's not a respecter of persons, but He is as far as a respecter of persons, as far as who He's going to give His kingdom to. It tells you in the scriptures, He shall not give it to another. He's not going to give the kingdom of heaven to another. You had it for a time, but it was only to show how wicked you are. You were going to get it by the sword. You know what I mean? You were going to do all these atrocities to the earth and the globe, and pollution to the world, right? You were going to be an unjust ruler, You're going to be an unjust steward, right? So it says, whose judgment was not to drink of the cup, have assuredly, we definitely assuredly drunken, and are thus he, right? You're this great benevolent. I guess you must be greater than who's like the heathen lady at the well. The heathen lady at the well. So, are you greater than our father Jacob, who made this well? You know what I'm saying? Are you greater than? You know what I'm saying? Are you greater than Jacob? Are you greater than the prophets who had to go into slavery? Who had to be beaten, killed, hung upside down, burnt, feathered, tarred, hit, stoned. You know what I mean? And man, the things that you had, the Israelites had to endure to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of our fathers, right? You know what I mean? To the point hey, bro. So it's not surprising you did that to babies, because you guys been doing that to babies, right? Because those that were circumcised, and they found that they were circumcised, right off a bridge, right? And a oak, right? Right. So it says go, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. Yeah, hey, see, you're gonna drink it. Assuredly. Hey, you're gonna surely drink, because we assuredly have drunken, so you shall surely drink of it. Right? It's gonna happen to you. For what? For I, For I have sworn by myself, right? Hey, and that's some Jake. That's how you know the Yahweh. We got the spirit, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian has the spirit of Yahweh, man. Cause that's what did Jake be saying? Even now, you listen to these rap songs, he'd be like, "Yeah, and that's on me. I told you I'm gonna do it. Yeah, and that's on me." You know what I'm saying? Then I told you if you cross me, I'm gonna do X, Y, Z, and that's on me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and that's basically what the Yahweh Bashir Shai is saying. Hey, that's on me. I put that on everything. I put that on me. That's on me. I'm finna, hey, say if Yahweh, that Basra, right, which is the chief place of Esau Edom, shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be what? Be perpetually waste. So it's a done deal rap for Esau, Edom, and all you heathens. So with all that, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory. Kahalayim, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha HaKodash. Like double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, to the elder apostles, bishops of Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, the elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom to your sisters, your akhwatim, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence, and a Bible ball, Kwam Yasharallah.